The candle flame pulsed against the heavy oak table, casting long, erratic shadows over the ink-stained scroll. Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus leaned into the circle of dim light, their faces rigid. Antony dipped the quill, the tip scraping against the parchment. He struck a name from the list with a single, sharp motion. "These are the ones," he said, his voice devoid of inflection. Octavius reached out, his finger tracing a line of text. "Your brother must be included, Lepidus." The room went still. Lepidus hesitated, his fingers pressing hard against the wood. He looked at the list, then at the others. A fraction of a second passed, then he nodded. "I agree." Antony moved the quill again, marking the name without a flicker of hesitation. The ink pooled, dark and thick, sealing the fate. Lepidus pushed back from the table, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the remaining names. "Then Publius, your nephew, must also fall." Antony did not blink. He pressed the quill tip into the paper with such intensity that the nib tore through the surface, leaving a jagged, ink-soaked gash. "He will not live," Antony said, his voice low and devoid of mercy. He shoved the list across the table, the parchment sliding over the wood with a dry, rasping sound. His hand remained on the table, fingers splayed, pinning the document down. "Go to Caesar's house," he commanded, his eyes fixed on Lepidus. "Retrieve the will. We need to divert those public funds to fuel our war machine." Lepidus stood, his movements stiff. He reached for the list, his fingers brushing the torn edge, and tucked it away. He turned toward the exit, his boots striking the stone floor with a rhythmic, hollow cadence. Antony watched him go, his posture unyielding. The room felt smaller now, the air thick with the scent of lamp oil and old dust. Antony leaned forward, his shadow stretching across the table. The heavy door thudded shut, the sound vibrating through the stone floor and rattling the inkwell on the table. Footsteps receded down the corridor, each strike against the stone growing fainter until the silence returned, absolute and suffocating. It pressed against the walls, thick with the weight of the names just signed away. Antony stood. He did not look at the door. He pushed his chair back, the wood scraping harshly against the floor, and began to pace the length of the table. His stride was long, measured, and restless. He moved with the predatory grace of a predator circling a kill. He stopped at the far end, his hands gripping the edge of the oak until his knuckles turned pale. He turned back toward Octavius, his head tilted, his lip curling into a sharp, jagged line of disdain. The mask of the collaborator had slipped, revealing the cold, calculating hunger beneath. The silence was heavy with the intent of the coming betrayal. Antony let out a sharp, jagged laugh that cut through the silence like a blade. He leaned closer, his face inches from Octavius, his shadow engulfing the younger man. "A scrawny, worthless tool," he spat, his voice dripping with venom. "Does he truly deserve a third of Rome?" Octavius looked up, his brow furrowed in genuine surprise. "You were the one who invited him to the table, Antony. You accepted his judgment on these deaths." Antony ignored the protest, his eyes glinting with a cold, predatory light. He paced back to the table, his movements erratic and sharp. "I am older, and I see further," he countered, his tone dropping to a low, dangerous growl. "We give him the title to silence the critics, but he is nothing more than a beast of burden. He will carry our gold, follow our path, and when the weight is delivered, we will cast him aside like a spent mule." Octavius stiffened, his arms crossing tightly over his chest. "He is a soldier, Antony. He has seen battle and proven his courage." Antony scoffed, pacing back to the table and slamming his palm onto the map. "My horse is a soldier too, and I feed him oats for his service. Lepidus is a creature to be trained to turn, to stop, to run at my command. He is property, nothing more." Antony slammed his hand onto the map spread before them, his fingers tracing the jagged borders. "Enough of him. Brutus and Cassius are mobilizing. Their armies grow in the shadows." He jabbed a finger at the parchment. "We must combine our forces now. We must solicit every ally and drain every resource before they strike." Octavius stood, his jaw set. "Agreed. We are like a bear tied to a stake, surrounded by snarling dogs. Even those who smile at us in the streets likely hold daggers behind their backs." They locked eyes. Without another word, they turned toward the door. Their boots struck the stone in unison.